Here we go. This is my technology major project, sir. Here I'm with Yanadi. I'm with Dr. Mark Johnson. Sir, here the topic about the television.
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 Okay.
Yeah. How far to come aware it? The first time when you became aware
First
of
time
it.
I saw TV, we had a black and white television, and I can remember watching it maybe when I was 4 or 5 years old, so that would have been 1965.
1965. Yeah. Okay. Like when you first started using it. When you first started using it. And it's 1965, right? And
So
first
we
you're
had
aware of
three
it.
TV stations.
So,
You had ABC,
Mm-hmm.
NBC, and CBS was on the UHF channel, and we had rabbit ears antenna out of the back of the TV.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yeah.
the first TV
That is-
we had.
that is your
So
first
we got
TV.
3 channels.
Only 3 channels. This is your first TV, right?
That's right.
Like, what was your opinion of your early technology? Like, early technology of television. What is your opinion?
Well, it was definitely fun. I mean, it was a family-centered activity. It sat in the corner of the room. Typically, we didn't watch TV too much during the day, but at night after supper, we would sit down as family.
Mhm.
We would watch TV programming together at night as a family.
Mhm.
There's only one TV in the house.
Yeah.
We didn't have multiple TVs,
Mhm.
so we all had to watch the same thing.
Yeah. Like, when you first watching TV, what do you think? Like, it is useful or it's fun? What type of your feeling is? What's your feeling is
Well,
for the first?
it's both entertainment, but we also watched the news, so that's the way that we were informed about things. Because we watched the news at 6 o'clock and at 10 o'clock at night, so we watched the news, and that's how we learned about the world around us. Because between that and newspaper, that was the only way of getting information in that day.
Yeah, thank you. And what is your early perspectives of the technology?
Any
Early perspectives of the technology.
expectations?
Perspectives. What is perspectives?
Perceptions?
Yeah, perceptions.
Perception.
Yeah.
My perceptions about TV was, it was interesting, it was fascinating. I remember in 1969 when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon.
Yeah.
We were in school. I was in the 3rd grade, and they pulled the TV sets into the classroom at school, and we all watched Neil Armstrong jump on the moon. We all saw that when he landed on the moon. They interrupted school for the day, and we all watched it. Anytime events like that happened, is pretty significant event. 1972,
Yeah.
when Richard Nixon, is actually be 74, when Richard Nixon was elected to president of the United States, and in 74, they were going through the Watergate scandal trials, the Walter Commission going through,
Yeah.
and that was on TV every day. It interrupted television all day long.
Mhm.
And so you watch the trials on TV. So anytime there was a significant event on TV, it interrupted daily usual programming, and that's how you got late breaking news.
That's great.
It came on television during
Yeah.
the day.
That's a great thing. Yeah. Is it the television changed your life? Like in any moments?
I know that I don't know about changing my life, but I would say that it probably had a lot to do with my upbringing, because I was a latchkey kid.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is, so I went to school. When I came home, my mother was at work. My dad was in the field, so I was just around the house by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I would watch programming like Leave It to Beaver, Andy Griffith, the Beverly Hillbillies, I Love Lucy and Desi Arnaz, Father Knows Best. Lots of programming that back in the day was it was kind of like a model of behavior, good versus evil. Good always overcomes evil. Uh, there were mores and values of how
Yeah.
to behave and what to do.
Okay, interesting.
You watch Andy Taylor and Opie. You watched Ward Cleaver and his sons Theodore and Wally, and you saw how families interacted, and so probably a lot of my expectations of of family interaction probably came as much from the television set as it did from my family, because I learned and watched those a lot. The Partridge Family, uh, just family shows growing up that I remember watching all the time that just really fascinated and modeled my behavior.
Yeah.
So it had a great influence on my behavior.
Yeah. Okay. Like, this should be my first question, but what is your can you tell me about yourself?
Tell
Like your
me-
biography.
What's that?
What your biography? Biography.
My biography?
Yeah. Just
Oh, as
this
far
should be
as
my
about
first
me?
question. Yeah. Me.
Okay. So you want to do
I
this
just-
first now?
Yeah.
you're doing it?
This yes.
Take it
This
out.
should be my
Okay.
first question. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm a university professor at Pittsburgh State University.
Yeah.
I graduated from Pitt State in 1983 with a bachelor's in business administration. I then graduated from Pitt State in 87 with a master's in technical teacher education, and in 1989 with a specialist in education in industrial education. From here I went to the University of Arkansas, got my doctorate in 1993 in vocational education. My background is in workforce development. I've been preparing employees for work my whole life.
Yeah.
The first 10 to 15 years I did it preparing public school teachers that were going into vocational schools and community colleges to teach students before they went to work.
For high school
The
students.
last 15 years I've spent it on the corporate side, preparing people that would go into human resources into the companies and then would upgrade skills and improve employee performance after they've been hired. So I've done the pre-employment and post-employment training all of my life. Most notably, I have developed a certain respect around the country. I was the National Teacher Educator of the Year in 2000, and currently I am a national consultant with the entertainment industry
That's
and with the
great.
apprenticeship training industry all over North America.
Oh, that's
And
great.
It's all about teaching people how to teach, and
Yeah.
that's what my job is all about.
Yeah, that's it. I know something about you. Like, you're the one of the best speakers of USA. Like, how do you feel the first time when you hear about this? What?
Well, as far as my speaking goes, I don't know if I'm one of the best. I'm pretty good at it. I've done it a long time, and as I tell my students, I'm very practiced. That's
Yeah.
probably the biggest difference between me and most people
Mhm.
is I'm very practiced.
Yeah. Okay.
Average person gives maybe 5 or 10 speeches a year. I give 200-300. So I'm very practiced. But that's like any skill, you develop it with practice.
Yeah.
With the advent of the television in regards to that, I remember seeing great speakers in in the late 60s and through the 70s, watching people speak before live audiences on stage. And I modeled a lot of my behavior, my speaking style after people that were on stage. Their ability to look people in the eye, the ability not to read from their notes and just give a good message. So I patterned a lot of what I do based upon what I saw, and that was seeing people on television as they spoke at conferences or they spoke at motivational seminars on TV, and saw how they did that. So I patterned a lot of that. I was very fortunate throughout my teenage years and my early 20s. I went to a lot of conferences. I got to see some of the most famous people speak. I got to see presidents speak. I got to see sports stars speak, gold medalists, Olympic champions speak. I got to see athletes like Terry Bradshaw speak. I got to see people like Chuck Yeager and astronaut Jim Lovell speak.
Great.
I got to see Rudy Rudiger from the movie Rudy,
Yeah.
a famous movie.
Yes,
I
I
got
know.
to see him in person and meet him and talk to him as he spoke on stage. I got to hear people like Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner and people from TV that I saw as a child. I got to actually see them in person and see them speak. I traveled the country a lot going to conferences and hearing major people speak on different things. And so I got a lot of good information as I learned to present because I watched what they did and I tried to learn from the best and do
Yeah.
that. So it's like I always tell my students,
Yeah.
you only know what you know
Yes.
until you learn something else.
Yes.
And I learned a lot during those years because I went to a lot of conferences and watched a lot of people perform. And I saw some great ones, I saw some not so good ones, but I learned a lot from that experience.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.